That's good. That's good. Check and check. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you stay with me to the end. This is about a 16-minute flight. We're at Kodiak Island, which is off the southern coast of the U.S. state of Alaska. And we are in the de Havilland DHC-6 Twin Otter on floats, obviously. And this plane is on sale right now in the MS store, the Sim store. And I am so glad. I knew I was going to get this plane eventually as soon as it came out, and I wanted it so much. And I've watched videos with people, and everybody's talked about it. And boy, they weren't wrong. There's no hype behind this. This plane is absolutely beautiful. All the variants that I have flown so far is just, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. So this particular flight, I am flying Sim Update 10 Beta. As some of you know, if you've watched my channel and some of my previous videos, I've been testing the beta out quite rigorously. And I tested with almost all the default planes, except for the heavies. I don't trim my settings for airliners. I hope to someday. I just don't seem to be able to get it to work that good. But also, you know, those guys, they're always way up in the air, and I like to be down here, you know, at the trees, and you don't really do that with an Airbus or a 737. So this is what I configure my settings for, is this type of flying. Not really through cities, although some of them I do, but that's easy enough to flop settings, you know, shut down the trees and turn up the buildings. There you go. I don't know if I've mentioned this in my previous videos, and I want to get this out right now just so you're aware. And you may have discovered it already, or you may have not. I've never really noticed it because I've always flown with my clouds on low. With the new DLS feature, I can now fly with them on ultra in cases or high. And the reason why I have this, wow, look how beautiful this is down here. This is Kodiak Island. I think I mentioned that. It's a beautiful, beautiful island. And a plane on floats is, you can't get a better airplane to take up here. Especially one like this, I can go in reverse, which I'll demonstrate when we land. I got to figure out how to get it out of reverse, so I have a hard time doing it once I get it into that mode. I'm not sure where that setting is. I got to still play with it. But anyhow, this is really a stress test of the, not a stress test so much, but a good test of the Sim Update Beta with the DLSS. This is a fairly complex aircraft. It's a third-party aircraft, so it's not probably even been updated for this update yet. I know Nvidia Driver hasn't come out with a new update, and they probably won't until this is actually released officially, but that'll be nice when Nvidia actually comes up with the next driver that features games that support DLSS, because this will be one of them. Yeah, so I mean, this is so pretty. So most of my settings are up on high right now. And what I was going to say about the clouds is, I've noticed that if you put the clouds on ultra and you have clear skies, and let's say you get 45 frames per second, if you then go to overcast or something with a whole lot more cloud cover, you can see as much, at least I have, as much as a 10 frame drop per second going from clear skies to very overcast. So if you want to maintain some very good frame rates, just fly with almost no clouds, and you can put them up on ultra. Mine right now are on high. Quite frankly, in the Quest, with the limited resolution of the Quest 2 headset, I don't see a whole lot of difference between ultra and high. Not enough to give up the frame rates. I'd like to keep it like this, you know, with the rain. If I had the clouds on ultra right now, I would not be getting the frames I'm getting. Yeah, colors seem a little bit too rich. I think at some point I might, I'm not sure, we'll fly a little bit more, but I may turn down the saturation. I think oh, you know what, I might have turned it up when I was flying into the Grand Canyon the other day. Oh, look at the rain ahead. Wow. I can see the rain falling. That is really nice. I like that. You know, I can see to me, the clouds look really good. They don't look pixelated. They don't, I mean, I'm not right on top of them again either. Oh, and I noticed that too, when you're flying through an ultra cloud, yeah, I definitely got to turn down the saturation, I think. Although maybe it is this green up there. I've actually flown or seen pictures of it. The sky looks good. The sky doesn't look saturated. Nothing else does, just certain areas, so maybe it's just the maps. Yeah, the clouds, like I said, when you're flying through them, that'll also cause a frame rate drop, especially if you have a ton of them up on Ultra. If you have just, again, very scattered, low cloud cover, few or broken, that's not too bad. So, now, I turn this down here, say here, yeah, maybe no. See if that makes a difference. Fly like that. Now, I'm not doing the frame rate counter because it screws up the recording. The recording already is not as smooth as the headset play itself. What I see as I'm flying here is not going to be, or is what I'm seeing myself is going to be smoother than what you're going to see later on in the video. So, which is nice actually. I can tell you that it is accurate. If I'm not recording, what goes by my windows is very, very smooth. And right now, it's just really playing awesome. So almost everything is up on high. I do not have image scaling enabled on the Nvidia control panel. So image scaling is off. The GeForce experience, I have everything in that turned off. Not anything from there is running at all. And like I said, my sim setting is quality for DLSS. Look at the rain here. And almost everything else is on high. I'm glad that the graphics are this good, because otherwise I would not really be able to discern some of these distant shapes so easily, but you can really see quite well here, even with the rain and the, not that much rain. Yeah, so most of my settings are on high. There are some settings turned up now that I really normally would have turned off, like ground shadows or terrain shadows. I've always kept that turned off as a hog of frame rates, and right now I have that on, I think, 256 right now. Some of the others that I would normally have off, I have on medium, or a couple settings up on the scale, whatever the scale is, and everything else on high. And it's really performing really well. And even without the frame rate counter, I can tell that this is getting at least 40 frames right now, and I haven't seen it skip or stutter. So there's more rain ahead for sure. So like I said, I hope you're staying with me. This is a good test, not an overly long test, and I have flown much longer flights, believe me. Not yet with this plane. I'm going to be doing one in the Alps. I found a livery for Air Alps, which was a French airline. And that was a nice rainbow over there. And it flew back, I think, in the 60s, and from the airport in the Alps to Paris. So I'm going to do some flights around the Alps with this plane wearing the Alps, the air. Oh yeah, look at the rainbow. Wow. Oh, look at that prop. Look at how smooth and clean that is. Reflections, and yeah. I tell you, this DLSS is really, really incredible. It's truly incredible, because this looks so good and so smooth and clean. I do have a bit of wind on. I have a little bit of wind with some gusts because I wanted to make the water a little choppier, in addition to the rain, the precipitation. Now, this is not a default cloud setting. This is one I played with and tweaked. I create a lot of my own custom clouds, so it's really so much better than just using, where it says few clouds. I play with them all the time. I change the layers. Sometimes I'll change the humidity, which gives you different colors in the skies and different impacts, but you got to be careful because it also has a major impact, or can have a major impact on how your engines perform. Let me go for those rainbows. I flew up here earlier too, and I was actually able to land. It was neat. I was landing in the water, and it was like landing at the base of a rainbow. It was really fun. Scattered showers, huh? Sure. Yeah, we're going to go for the rainbow here a little bit. Still performing really nicely. Everything's smooth. I've not seen any skips, no stutters, no jumps. Oh, speaking of that, if you've watched the last few videos that I've done, one of them you might have heard me mention that a few days ago, not because I had to, but because I can and because I wanted to, I wiped my computer and reinstalled Flight Sim with the OS, and then got it, prepped and Flight Sim. Now, I really have nothing on this computer but my flight simulator and a couple of tools for editing videos, so it's a piece of cake to put everything back on it. Even all my downloads, I store them off-site on a Google Drive, and then I can just download them back up. So it's like 5 or 6 hours. It's no big deal. I have plenty of other things to do during that time. Wow, look at this. Oh, it looks so nice with the rain over the window. I think my windshield effects right now are on Ultra. They may be on high, but I think they're on Ultra. And I don't want to go to the settings because I really want to keep this as, even though I did open up the OpenXR toolkit, other than that, I really want to keep away from settings and other screens to keep this as pure a flight as possible. The OpenXR scaler overlays and it doesn't interfere with the flight. If I go to the main sim settings, that actually interrupts the flight, and I want to keep this a pure flight with no interruptions, just to see how well it performs. And right now it is performing beautifully. I hope it does this nice in the Alps, that's for sure. Oh, my SteamVR, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier. Like I said, the scaling is off in the Nvidia control panel and in the GeForce experience on SteamVR. And I use SteamVR. I don't use the AirLink or the Link cable, so my settings may not pertain when you guys use those two options to connect. But I use virtual desktop with SteamVR because to me it's the best. I've tried the others and maybe it's just my computer, but nothing works as good as this for me. But SteamVR gives you two more options to change the scale, the resolution. And the main video resolution is set at the default, which is 100%. Oh, this is pretty. This is so pretty. This is so nice. And I tell you, this plane is it. Boy, she's a lady. She really is, and she's delicate and graceful. But I love in the manual. I printed out the manual. One of the things, like the comments they made, is how important the speed is on this plane, because it says at 80 you'll be flying, at 78 you'll be dropping out of the sky. It's true. It really is incredible. I'm going to play with the reverse here a little bit. I want to try and go around the island here. I was hoping to actually be a little bit closer to the river part and go more inland, but I'm going to just zoom around this island a little bit and play with the reverse and come out so you can kind of see how the reverse works if you've not seen it. It's really kind of neat to have a great plane that has propellers on it, and it's got the ability to go reverse and on the ground too. Now obviously you don't want to overdo it. You got to be super careful, because when you're doing it, you can actually suck stuff up into the engine, and so you do not want to overdo it. And always pay attention very, very carefully. But yes, I know what I said. So the previous 2-3 videos, since I've wiped my computer, have been a little bit jittery and jumpy, and I was blaming it on the recording, and It wasn't. After I reset the computer, there was a very, very important registry change. And I know I mentioned this in a video on tweaks that's on my channel, and there are other videos out it, but it's the NDU, the Network Detection Utility. It's a registry edit. I'm sorry. It's a registry. Here we go. Yeah, see, so we're in reverse here now. And your throttle, so you can see the wake now in front. The throttle is kind of neat because you can go pretty fast in reverse, or you go forward again, and so yeah, it's pretty neat to be able to go to reverse and do that. But yeah, that NDU, Network Detection Utility, I believe that's what that stands for. It's a registry tweak. It's on one of my videos. It's out there if you search for it. It's a utility that monitors network traffic, which gives you all kinds of stutters and slowdowns because, as we all know, Flight Sim needs a really nice, smooth network. Uh, but I had forgotten to do that, so don't forget to do that. That's an awesome setting. And this was an awesome flight. It performed beautifully the entire time. It was great. And I just shut off my switch there. And I hope you stuck with me to the end. This was a great flight, and we'll see you in the skies. Thanks for watching.